Okay, today I thought you might get a kick out of seeing how they did a motor speed control inside this early Japanese tin battery operated highway patrol car. Move a little bit closer, and maybe about like that. Now the car had a lot of mechanical effects. I guess before I tip this down, I should show you that these top lights don't light, but they get linked and they move back and forth. This one will blink, but only at certain times. And then there's a big speed control meter on the back, which, if I can find the crank, there we go. You can see this red meter will move when the toy is running. I can't lift the top completely away because there's the two wires going up to that lamp up on the top. A car was sent to me for not working, and the main reason that it didn't work, might as well start there, is this link between the two ends of the batteries was missing. It was gone. Cold solder, and the wire had fallen off and I guess fallen out of the inside of the car at some point. So there wasn't any power, but even if there had been power, it still wasn't going to work right. And do I want to get into that, or I don't want to show some of the mechanical stuff first? Let's turn this light on. There we go. I'm going to try to hover you over to this side a little bit. There's a cam. Can we get this where you can see it? There's a cam right down there which pushes against this wiper. This wiper goes to the negative side of the battery. So every time that cam touches that wiper, it'll put negative into the frame. The frame is connected to this piece of metal. This piece of metal can go up and down based on this cam. So whenever this is held open, no negative will be supplied here, and whenever the cam allows this to come up, the negative will be supplied there, but the negative is turning off and on because of this first cam. Well, that's what makes the light on top the car blink. The little fast one is going to set the blink rate, and this bigger cam on this wiper sets when that's even going to turn on to show the flashing. Okay, so that's all well and good. Here's a siren screecher. You got your cardboard tube and a wiper that goes onto the pinion gear of the motor, and it's on the opposite side of this lever that controlled the light. So basically when the light is on, you'll hear the siren. When you don't hear the siren, the light will be off. Okay, that's all kind of standard stuff, more or less. On this side you've got a cam, and you can kind of see a little ridge right there. So as it rolls around on that ridge, that's going to shift the gear right here in and out. And depending on whether the gear is in the in position or the out position, the drive wheel will be connected to move. So the car stops and starts, blinking light, siren off and on, moving gauge, non-lit lights on top of the car. But even more than that, and this is the part I thought you might find interesting, is right on top you've got this strange wiper assembly, and there's actually two wipers. I guess I got to move the camera again. See, there's that one wiper in there, and then there's the outer wiper. Now when this is working right, this ring and this large part of this outer wiper are connected together. They both represent negative going to the motor. This part over here you can see is slotted, and through these little Constantine wires, which loop from there, go underneath, loop from there, go up, and then inside this blue is even more of that Constantine wire looped around. What they're forming there is basically a resistor. So when the wipers are on the center, it's always on the center, but it's on the largest part of this outside one, the motor's going to get full power. But when it breaks to this one little part here, which is isolated from the rest, the motor gets its power through the Constantine wires, which is going to reduce the motor speed. So I can't remember now what it was, 6 ohms or 7 ohms or something. But anyway, it slows the motor down. So the motor and the siren effect will have a two-tone sound whenever it rolls around to that part. Now, that part wasn't working, and it took me a while to find it because I knew this outer part should be connected to this inner part, and yet when I would take my continuity test between the two, it wasn't. And that's because there was a small piece of metal on the bottom side, right there where if you see that shiny little bit there, that's where I've soldered it. A little piece of the center one came out, folds up, and was crimped onto the outer ring. Of course, that's oxidized through the years, so it wasn't conducting. So I went ahead and soldered that to make sure that it would in fact be getting the full power whenever the wipers are on the outer ring and running through their wire resistor when it's on the center ring. So having said all that, and that was a lot to say, I'll kind of hold this up and we'll turn it on. This should be your full speed. Now you can see the wheel. There's the sound. Slowing down. And then you heard it speed back up a little. Let's get to where we can maybe see the top light too. Maybe. Just have to readjust the camera. So you can see the top was blinking while the siren was going and not blinking the rest of the time. And so, that's what's going on in there. This lever that was moving back and forth is what's going to engage with that speed meter on the back. This lever that's moving back and forth up here engages with these cranks which move those two fake lights up on top of the cab of the car. The tricky part's going to be lining up all of these tabs and getting those to go into their slots and getting that to go into its slot. So I won't even try to do that on camera. We may do a second video, a follow-up one, showing how it works when it's all put back together.